Story 1. Finding a hobby that distracts you from eating. I've lost 70 pounds just by doing something else other than sitting on the couch eating junk and cheese. I started taking walks for fun. It will become fun once you put that phone away. Became interested in calories and began drinking diet soda instead of the usual soda, things like that. It's hard to lose weight when you're not aware and are in a regular position to eat whenever you want. Story 2. Hunger is more often than not just a feeling. Also known as you probably have eaten enough for the day even if you feel peckish in the evening. You can safely just ignore the hunger, drink some water, go to sleep, etc. Eventually, your hunger adjusts to the amount you eat. Source. Lost weight with intermittent fasting, and in the beginning I just powered through hunger pains because I was not supposed to eat at that time or had already eaten the calories for the day. Didn't even really feel hunger anymore after a few weeks. Story 3. 1. Eat dinner as early as possible without having to force yourself to go to bed hungry. When you order at a restaurant, ask for a to-go box before the food arrives. Cut whatever portion they've given you in half and put it in the to-go box. Save it for tomorrow, give it to a friend, hand it to a homeless person nearby, or try to share meals if you are out with someone. My partner and I do this in Mexican restaurants now, and it keeps us from overeating and feeling stuffed, not to mention the calorie savings. Find a way to drink calorie-free liquids as much as possible. Try to steer clear of artificial sweeteners. Instead, opt to moderate your sugar intake. Also, try to avoid caffeine, as you will want to be drinking enough liquid throughout the day to curb your appetite. I never understand how people can drink diet soda all day and not just feel awful. Do not latch onto fad diets or cheat methods. You may consume fewer calories and add simple workouts like taking a family walk in the evenings, doing some push-ups or sit-ups in the mornings before showering, and so on. Story 4. It is easier to not eat a muffin than it is to work out 200 to 300 calories burned. That muffin is gone in like 5 seconds, and I will have to be on the treadmill for 30 or more minutes. Story 5. If the excess weight is the result of lifestyle, the solution can be 2. Assuming there is not an underlying health condition, better food choices and more physical activity are solid choices. Story 6. If you do a budget, all non-healthy food comes out of your entertainment budget, not your food budget. Junk food looks a lot less appealing when you realize you're spending a new video game, night out, new outfit, or whatever on it every month. Story 7. Focus on sustainable habits. 1. Eat mindfully. Pay attention to portions. Stay active, find fun exercises. Plan meals. Prep healthy options. Hydrate. Drink plenty of water. Sleep well. Prioritize quality rest. Be patient. Celebrate small wins. Consistency is key. Story 8. Fat is lost in the kitchen. As long as you are eating fewer calories than you burn, you will be losing weight. You could actually lose weight eating junk food, but you will feel unwell. The best thing to do is eat smaller portions of nutrient-rich food so your body has what it needs. An apple will give your body more long-term energy than a bag of chips, that kind of thing. There are many diets out there, but all of them aim to make it easier to consume fewer calories. Muscle is significantly denser than fat and requires more calories to maintain. It's disheartening at first to realize that running an entire mile burns fewer calories than a single fun-size candy bar. However, exercise will build up a baseline of muscle, which increases the number of calories you burn just by existing. This means you can eat the same and lose fat, or you can eat more and comfortably maintain your weight. Story 9. Just remember, if you are trying to lose fat, never trust a salad that has a crouton as big as your head. It is basically a bread salad with a side of lettuce. Story 10. This depends on whether you are trying to lose fat or lose weight. At 23, I ran into a post on Reddit about calorie counting. It just made sense. I lost 40 pounds in a year playing video games. There really isn't any other way to do it. You can't beat science. Take in fewer calories than you burn just by sitting all day, and the weight will drop. Eat more and it goes up. I haven't fluctuated more than 5 pounds since then, usually during holidays when I stop counting, since I know I can just lose it all afterward. It's not even a stress anymore. Now, fat loss is a different challenge. You will lose fat counting calories, but you will also lose muscle. This is where everything gets complicated by pseudoscience. It's kind of pointless being 140 pounds but having no muscle. There are a million conflicting studies, and it's different for everyone. Some can eat whatever and will gain all the muscle while lifting if they stay in the same weight range via recomposition. Others need to bulk and cut. And fat probably isn't targetable, though this is where the pseudoscience comes in. There are a few studies floating around now that suggest stressing specific regions after heavy cardio will burn fat there. There's also balancing all your protein and carbohydrate intake with your lifts, and all the nuances that go into that. In this area, I wish it were the same as just losing weight and how easy that is to put together. Story 11. Intermittent fasting. Just eat 2 meals within 6 to 8 hours every day, and do not eat anything during the other 16 to 18 hours. Do some sports before your first meal of the day. Eat some supplements like vitamins, minerals, and probiotics. This reduces the craving for food. Stay away from sugar and other low nutritional carbohydrates as much as possible. Be aware of foods that contain a lot of sugar and carbohydrates like tomato ketchup, most breakfast cereals, and soft drinks. Build up some muscles. They have a higher metabolic rate than fat and burn more calories even while you are not moving at all or even sleeping. Do some light endurance exercises like walking, running, hiking, biking, or swimming. This will teach your body to metabolize the calories you eat. Story 12. Boost your fiber intake, cut back on sugars, and kick soda to the curb. To help transition away from soda, opt for healthier drinks like Poppy or Olipop. I firmly believe that diet is imperative for managing weight. You cannot out-exercise a poor diet. With that said, everyone's dietary restrictions and requirements are different. Get blood work done and focus on your concerns. Story 13. I cut out soda and snacks. Then I got rid of my treadmill because I hated using it and replaced it with a rowing machine, which is less impact on my knees and ankles and is actually enjoyable to use. Those two changes resulted in a 35-pound loss over the course of a little over a year. Story 14. I am being incredibly legitimate about this. Don't sit down as much. Stand up and walk around. Try to get a standing desk. Do more physically productive things. Skinnier people do not sit as often as larger individuals. On the same thought track, fidget more. Skinnier people also tend to fidget more. Fidgeting can burn more calories throughout the day as well. Any movement can. Immerse yourself in things you enjoy. If you are more busy, you're less likely to overeat. Dopamine is difficult to manage, and that food noise is hard to silence. So get your dopamine from things other than food. When you eat, eat slowly. If you eat fast, you aren't giving your brain enough time to tell you you're full. There are even studies linking eating quickly to metabolic disease. And don't watch anything while eating. You need to be mindful. I understand that when you're bigger, it's harder to move around. Trust me, I used to be 320 pounds. I've lost around 180 pounds or so, and I feel much better. In the beginning, I did the above things to help, because it doesn't feel like working out. It's just being more productive. Also, don't push yourself too hard. If you ever feel pain, stop. Pain isn't productive. Pain is your body telling you to stop. It's a warning. And if you hurt yourself, you'll lose all motivation to continue. Furthermore, weigh yourself less. Go by how your body feels. Weight is an arbitrary number. You could be doing everything right and still gain weight due to gaining muscle. The only scale you should use regularly is a food scale. Calories matter. Your body weight does not. The only reason to know your weight is to calculate your basal metabolic rate, BMR, and total daily energy expenditure, TDE. Do this once a month to see how many calories you need to remain in a deficit. Then set it aside until the next measurement. To measure progress, go by measuring inches. That's much more productive. Also, take photos every month to compare. Don't use weight. It'll just make you upset and you'll quit. Get into a habit. Work out every day at the same time. Even if it's 5 minutes, that is 5 minutes more than you did yesterday. And stretch. Make sure you stretch so that you can help to avoid pain. Remember that pain isn't productive. If you have polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, I suggest speaking with your doctor to see which type of PCOS you have. Not everyone is the same, so you must speak to your doctor. Do not just take advice from people on the internet. I am a stranger on the internet. The one I know about is insulin sensitivity, and what I took to help balance my insulin sensitivity and help with my fat distribution was 500 milligrams of berberine twice daily. If you take the powder, you're going to want to parachute it or put it in capsules because it's the worst tasting thing in the world. 2,000 milligrams of myo-inositol and 50 milligrams of dechiro-inositol. The 40-to-1 ratio is very important. I take this broken up into 2 dosages. Once in the morning, once in the evening. 2,000 international units, 50 micrograms of vitamin D3 in the morning. 400 milligrams of magnesium. Don't take magnesium citrate. Don't do it. Your digestive system will thank you. I personally take magnesium glycinate. I take this at night as it helps with sleep. Speaking of sleep, get plenty of rest. If you have sleep apnea, sleep on your left side and get a continuous positive airway pressure, CPAP, machine. I know it's not cool to have a CPAP, but you're literally suffocating in your sleep. That kills people. The ketogenic diet helped me a lot. It's not for everyone, but if you have high inflammatory markers, it could be beneficial, especially if you have insulin sensitivity. Again, I implore you to speak with your doctor. I am not your doctor. I'm not even educated. I'm just a random person online. Speak with your doctor about all medicines and diets before you start them, especially if you have any conditions that are complications from obesity. You can do it. Progress isn't linear, and it's okay to fail. Failure isn't bad. Failure is how we learn and adapt. You got this. Story 15. For me, eliminating sugary drinks helped. I try to drink as much water as I can instead. There are lots of good sugar-free drinks either way, so it seemed like low-hanging fruit. I try to eat my calories, not drink them. Story 16. One piece of advice that has helped me on my journey is to focus on sustainable lifestyle changes rather than quick fixes or fad diets. By making small, gradual changes to my eating habits and exercise routine, I have been able to see steady progress towards my goals without feeling deprived or overwhelmed. Story 17. Focus on small, sustainable changes like eating whole foods, controlling portions, and staying active with regular exercise. Make it a lifestyle, not a quick fix. Story 18. Intermittent fasting and a high-protein, low-carbohydrate diet have been a game-changer for me. I lost 20 pounds in about 3 months, and it honestly hasn't been that difficult. Story 19. I hate to say it, but the 6 small meals a day, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, really do help, and water is your best friend. Also, a lot of people don't realize it, my husband included, but vitamins really do help your body. Take them. Story 20. I lost 10 kilograms in 2.5 months. I worked out 4 times a week and ran twice for about 6 kilometers. But what helped the most was the food. No white bread, but I was still eating carbohydrates like whole wheat pasta for lunch and then burning it at the gym. I changed my diet to include a lot of rice, vegetables, and grilled chicken or fish. I cut off the snacks and replaced them with nuts. So whenever I was hungry at night, I would eat some almonds and walnuts, sometimes carrots and cucumber just to have that crunchy snack. Breakfast was substantial to keep me full for the day. Also, a lot of water. It makes you feel full and hydrates your body and skin. Story 21. Before eating something, ask yourself this: do I want food or do I need fuel? If it's the latter, eat. If not, don't, because your head needs it, not your body. Story 22. Psychologically, the motivation will never overpower the raw pleasure of food. Your brain is hardwired to choose that immediate gratification over delayed reward. Willpower alone isn't enough to stop yourself once that fridge door is open. You've got to set yourself up for success when you're not immediately hungry so that when you are, you have an alternative ready, and then you have a chance to start making the right choice more often than the bad choice. It's only when you're not hungry that you can think clearly and try to safeguard yourself for when you are. One thing that helps me is to slow down. Slow everything down. Pay attention to your true feelings, anxieties, and avoidances. Do this regularly so that when you're at the cupboard, you can see yourself making the decision instead of compulsively acting on it. Story 23. Start by making a habit of drinking water consistently. It's super easy to do, and staying hydrated will help stop you from overeating while cutting out empty calories. Story 24. Calories in, calories out. I have additional rules for myself. I don't eat anything after 8 p.m. My lowest carbs for the day are in the last meal. I try to eat whole foods for my last meal. I have reduced down to only one cocktail at night. I don't buy the no added sugar and ketogenic treats. I try not to take in any extra sugar. I know that pickles will have sugar in them, but I'm not making pickles. I don't buy sweet pickles and buy the ones with the lowest added sugar. Story 25. Eat way less highly processed food. I had to do that for health reasons, and within a year I lost 20 pounds without trying. It's hard keeping weight on now. Story 26. First, the obvious. Eat fewer calories than you burn. Here's some advice that helped me to get control of my eating habits. Avoid, meaning avoid, not cut off completely, products that contain fat, sugar, salt, and dairy, especially chips and crackers, which have all of these in large amounts. One warm meal per day can be anything, even pizza, as long as it is not every day. Do not eat anything sweet or sugary after 8 p.m. You can relax a bit on weekends. Bonus rule. If you exercise for 2 hours, you can eat something sugary. The main target is to avoid sugar, which is bad energy, fat, which is needed but not too much, and salt, which can make you swollen and is bad for your health. Edit. Those who say eat less are wrong. You should eat more non-caloric foods like cucumber or watermelon. Eating less causes strain on your body, which goes into saving mode and starts to hold on to calories, making you tired and causing you to gain weight. Eat fewer calories would be better said.